This is better.
Oh, I didn't do the tables, sorry.
No, it's better.
Is it better? Okay, good.
An anomaly, I think, right?
It's all an anomaly.
Is John calling in by?
Preservation is a dream. He said he would.
John Choden?
Yeah, just curious about for that.
He said he would call in for the vote,
Yeah.
but not be here to inform.
I thought that was huge.
I think
Both.
we're good.
You good?
I think
We
so.
got 2 dial-ins.
Yeah, because Jonathan Patsy's Johnson family morning.
I was supposed to,
Do you see the room from your computer on the corners?
I do here, and I want to have to change.
You want some distance? So funny.
I'm doing mine.
you're right.
I was on a Zoom interview the other day.
You see them on the screen?
And I can't see final round, and they couldn't get it working because they just so turned their computer and like pointed the screen.
Well,
back
I'm
and
going
here.
to,
But they pointed at the guy's crotch for 40 minutes. So literally the entire time. And I was like, can you like move it? I'm like texting
Please,
people. I was like,
please move it.
I tried to,
I'm desperate.
Chairman, Justin and I are wondering, how can I get this screen to be the large one? Justin is,
Yes, very true.
and I used to go to view.
Oh, we smoke.
Yeah. How's your
You do
day?
smell great.
It's a lot of
Oh,
It's
that's
Oh,
going
is it,
very well.
Yeah,
It's busy. Yeah, and enjoying it.
Did that spotlight for everybody?
Do you have munchkins helping you?
No.
So then they should,
Which is
they
actually
should
kind
see
of really
it.
nice.
This should be the primary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I want to see it large.
Dog's body, the Brits.
And I was saying to
How
Jan,
about go to view?
Yeah, actually, someone
with
reached
the
out to
public
me,
works
they were
board
saying
meeting,
that
I
they
used
have
to be
like a
able to
niece
see
or something.
everybody here
for
and on
a,
the screen, but now I
like a
can't see anything
internship or
on my
something, I was
screen.
like,
I
I
can see
don't
it up
need
there.
that response.
Can't you get a baby?
I don't know if that's what it is.
I'm sure, but right now the workload is that it's nice to not, because I came
You know
from
what,
managing giant teams nationally to.
You want
not
to open it up and see if it switches when you, I think that might be it, like when you.
I think
Thanks for doing that to us,
No.
guys.
Yeah, thank you, I'm super psyched about it, and Jane's been very.
Why don't you
gracious
join?
about it. Very well, that's been good.
Rejoin. What do you mean rejoin? I
Go out
did.
for that bit,
Yeah.
See the people that have called into the meeting, but I can't see what's going on in the room. On my laptop.
Well, we have it. It's just that
It's
we
just
can't.
really tiny, yeah.
Right, and or there's 3 dots down here too. Hey, there used to be. Let me just have my.
What is it?
They may have it,
I unmuted.
but maybe they have it muted right now because they haven't started. I don't know.
I unmuted the checkbox.
Oh, hi, good morning, everyone. You can mute yourself, if you'd like. It's, the HPC. We're just about to get started. We're just waiting for a few more people.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Wait a minute and see.
Good morning, everyone. We're still waiting, for one or two more HPC commissioners, and, we'll begin shortly.
Okay, thank you.
About 2 minutes.
He'll be back.
Okay.
We're good?
Yes.
Sit down, that's enough time. As we have a quorum, which is Jeremy, Bill, Miranda, Paul, and Kim, being called to order. First order of business is to review the minutes.
I can make a motion.
True that? Yes, you can. Motion to approve and then second by both Kim and Miranda, all in favor.
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Thank you again, Jane.
Thank
What do we have next?
you. We have 3 votes. First up is 315 Warren Street, C of A. And this is for the replacement of 3 windows on the 2nd floor of the front facade, 315 Warren Street, with 2 over 2 windows. And they were Marvin, he submitted the specs. I believe they were Marvin Elevate.
Very good.
Mhm.
With that, a motion to approve the C of A and S, that's what I'm saying. Kim and Paul, all in favor?
Aye.
C of A is approved.
Okay, next up, C of A is 10 Union Street. And this was the removal and sealing of that ground level skylight that was
Yes.
leaking into his basement. And he asked for permission to remove it and,
Okay.
and cover it over with slate and concrete.
Kim, I see a motion, and Jeremy, you second, all in favor, C of A is approved.
Okay. And next up is 409 Warren Street. And that was the hanging canvas sign. That was the Shayna Moat. She's moving from next door to Wild to Warren Street.
Very good. Motion, Jeremy and Paul, all in favor, C of A is approved.
Aye.
Okay. Let's see. And next up, we have some new applications. First up is 127 Warren Street. Is there anyone online to speak for 127 Warren Street?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Gary LaBelle, and I represent the Register Star newspaper and the Daily Mail, along with the parent company of the Daily Gazette.
Okay, good morning, Gary. I'm going to go ahead and share your application for everyone.
Okay. We recently acquired the Register Star and the Daily Mail, and there was a bigger office on Warren Street, but last year they moved into a smaller office because the staff has been reduced. On 127 Warren Street, currently, there is no sign, but there was a hanging sign there previously from the previous business that was there, but that bracket has been removed. So what we're proposing is to put in a bracket, historically correct bracket, on the same location that is currently on the building now, and just put the hanging sign, which would have the 2 businesses, the Register Star and the Daily Mail's logo, which is in the color slide down below. And then on the
Okay.
bottom, would just say Hudson Valley 360.
Mhm.
And it would go on the same bracket that's currently on the building now. There's four, it would require 4 lag bolts into the side of the building.
Okay, so, and this is it says, the actual font and the colors that will be on the sign, so
Yeah.
that we're just,
Yeah, what you see there is actually what would be on that chicken scratch that I put there above it on my rendition of the 24 by 36 hard material that will have the vinyls. The information that'll be on there will be basically in a vinyl sticker for that
Mhm.
colorful logo that you see there.
Commissioners? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Bruce?
Motion to find the application complete, is Miranda and Paul, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion to waive the public hearing and ask the city attorney to prepare a C of A. That is Paul and Kim, all in favor?
Aye.
It is unanimous. So we're going forward. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you guys. Have a safe and happy, well, I guess it's not a happy Memorial Day, but a safe Memorial Day. And
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
you're welcome. Thank you guys for your time today.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Next up, we have 251 Allen Street. That's the Hudson Navigator sign. Chair Foreman, would you like me to move that to the end of the meeting or no?
I think we can, yeah, as a matter of fact, let's do that. Wonderful. John. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go down to 2051.
And that was it's a slight address change. I noticed because I walked by there, it's actually 203, and I consulted Craig, and indeed it is 203.
So can we verify? Yeah.
Well, I know he's out of town, but
No, that's all right. We
Yeah.
got it.
so it's this building. Let me just share it with everybody. Let's see, I'm sorry. Okay, is there someone online to speak for 203 Warren Street? Hudson River Kitchenware?
Going once, going twice. They may come back in later.
Okay. Well, in any case, the application's is for a vinyl sign, this sign right here,
Okay.
24 inch by 60 inch. Okay. Okay,
60 South Front.
yes, and our applicant is here in person?
Hi, good morning. Good, Shaq Smela, just representing, South Front Street Holdings, Kitty's Restaurant. We're looking to add ADA access to the, second floor of, Kitty's. So looking to add an exterior lift, a wheelchair lift, on the back side of the building. It is mostly on the back of the building and not very visible from the street, but there is, if you are walking along there, there's potential to just see it from the corner of your eye.
So can you walk, do you want to walk us?
Yeah, this is, so we're looking, if you know, between the two buildings, there's the Caboose and Kitty, so looking at this is the south elevation. So the lift would be there on the right side. It would look similar to that sort of a lift. There's no roof over the lift. It would be kind of a white, closer to the color it would be the color that's on the right side with a clear plexiglass. And these are the street views. So it would be just behind the existing stairs on the right side. So just kind of tucked in on the back there. You would just kind of see it. I do have a plan view as well. That'd be easier to kind of see where it is.
Yeah, let's see that and where that hangs.
Is the plan view
I
on
have
your
a
document?
full, I did not include that in there, but I do have both sides.
Over to the other side, we're right in the show that. I'll start.
So this is the stairs that you see on the photo, and the lift would kind of tuck back behind over there.
Right hand corner,
Mhm.
I got it. Thank you.
So the lift would be right there. These are the stairs that you see on the photo. This is the main street, this is Front Street. So you look kind of, it's all the way back.
This there. But it's already.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
I think it's great. References and all day.
Questions, comments, or thoughts, or go ahead?
Looks great.
Terrific. Motion to find the application complete. Paul and Kim, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion to waive the public hearing and request the city attorney, prepare C of A. Jeremy and John, all in favor? Unanimous. That was easy.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. And next up, we have, in-person, Park Theater sign and bracket.
So, I guess I've been in front of you guys in quite some time, but I finally have decided on a sign. Since everybody.
Why rush?
Seems to, well, you know, you gotta get it right. So basically what I've done is I've replicated the top of the building, staying true to the historic, structure. And I brought it down and I've replicated it, painted it, you know, if I don't get approved, I can use it for something else, but, so yeah, I basically everything.
Wow.
Everything that we've done at the theater is really replicating, you know, what was original. So I did my best to try to replicate the arch and the dental work, and then I have aluminum letters that kind of tip off a little bit, and it would be done on both sides. And I have the bracket. I think I sent you guys the specs. I don't actually have that with me, but
Yeah.
It's period specific, I suppose, even though it's a replication. And yeah, I want to hang it off in between the lights. So there's two lights that come off the building. There's a main area for it, but I didn't want to actually just use the letters from the top and put it down at the bottom. Because that would actually send much more work. And so, yeah, I just want to hang it off the middle there and be perpendicular to the actual size. Yeah.
Is that the actual sign?
Yeah.
All right.
That's the actual size.
We rarely get the actual.
Could you take on the conversation you had with Craig?
Yeah, initially when I spoke with Craig, there was concerns about the zoning law that said you can't have two signs on a building. So there was that variable, and then I kind of showed him a bunch of pictures of other buildings that have names with a different store down below. And so therefore I didn't think I should be penalized for staying true to the historic, you know, significance of the building by calling the business the same.
Where's the name of the building on the building?
It's all the way up top. It's 45 feet in the air, 50 feet in the air.
So the complication is that the name of the building and the name of the enterprise are the same. Craig had a concern about that.
That's not our problem.
I agree. Yeah, well, he wanted us to opine on it. So I felt that the name of the building is the name of the building, the name of the business is the name of the business, and it's not two signs.
Well, and that's in a historically appropriate place for the name of the building.
Right.
That's where we,
It's an original to town.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could take it down if you guys want.
I would say that this looks excellent to me, and as long as Craig is okay with it, I don't think there's any issue.
He will be if we approve.
Then I think we should approve this. I strongly support this sign. I think it looks great.
Yes.
And I would also say, in terms of all the projects in Hudson, this is really one that does great honor to our tradition of architecture. So thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Motion to find the application complete. Kim and Paul, all in favor?
Fine.
Motion to waive a public hearing and request the city attorney to prepare a C of A. We'll go with Jeremy and Miranda, all in favor?
Fine. Pretty good.
Maybe the C of A should say this is an exception because it's a
The
historic
name of the
building.
building is a historic name of the building.
Yeah.
Where we recognize that this is it, but
We're
it's
not
still
saying
fairly
that
appropriate.
two signs
Signs are, yeah.
is invalid, it's just. an
Very
exception.
The
fair.
name of the building is a historic detail, existing historic detail.
And yes,
You, son, get your woodworker? Or this is just?
No,
Yes, it's all-
I own the building.
Okay, okay, that's great.
I guess I.
He's a theater person, he can do anything.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
No.
Okay,
Very.
very cool. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next up is 421 Warren Street. And this is there anyone online to speak for 421 Warren Street? 421 Warren Street? Matthew Signs? No.
no show. And what was the other no show we had? Jen?
Was
203 Warren,
203,
that advertises 205.
Got it.
right.
And that's the other no show. So we got two no shows and we can go back to the Navigator.
Okay,
So we were sort of hanging on that one. We tried, I think in a good way to give the applicant every opportunity to get a sense of as many commissioners as we could. And I've gone through this in my head a lot. There's a lot of public feedback and a lot of really good discussion. I think that one of the complications is that we're kind of talking past one another. I believe it's correct and open to be corrected that the applicant felt that because this happened to be on a busy thoroughfare, that it changed what he was able to do or not able to do. And I think that's actually not the case. It's in the historic district. It's a historic district building and a neighborhood. And the code drives our priorities to supporting the building and the neighborhood and doesn't say a lot about signs change because it's a thoroughfare. The sign that's been presented several times now is quite a good size. It is plastic. It is illuminated from within. And I think because we were not somehow communicating with one another, the applicant developed a beautiful design, but essentially a sign for a thoroughfare, not for a historic building in a historic district. That's just my opinion.
I think that's really interesting because I've been doing a lot of thinking about this and I have a tendency to get fixated on trying to fix one thing. And at the last meeting, we talked about color temperature and the intensity. And I felt that we solved for that, but then taking a step back and thinking about it for the past, couple of weeks, I came to a realization I was missing the bigger picture, which is again, appropriateness for a historic district, a Victorian house, residential. And so that is going to change the way that I approach this.
And for me also, Kim, I had initially voted for this. But with a little more thought and the helpful public input and the wisdom of Miranda,
Yeah.
and other folks who described the problem very, very coherently, better than I had thought it through. I think this is wrong for the building and for the neighborhood.
And I just want to point out, we didn't end up having the discussion, but it appears we have an application for another internally sign on Warren Street. I really do think this is a pressure point that we ought to, have a policy that we try to follow. And also, this is like the first thing you see when you come into Hudson. That's significant also. And that it's a beautiful sign, and illuminating it in a more traditional manner will only show off the beauty of the design.
I think that is so well said. I think the sign actually, as I just look at it again, it's been a while, the sign is charming. It's just the scale, placement, and internal illumination that are problematic, and that hasn't changed since the first application.
No,
Well, he did, in his support, he did reduce size significantly for this go-round, and we appreciate that.
It's
Doesn't
still,
solve.
we'll opine when he comes back, and I'm still thinking it's not in scale.
The drawing they gave you was not to scale.
Correct.
So it undersized the sign as compared to the building.
Correct.
So.
Will that help?
Is that what we're seeing here?
Correct.
This is not to scale. Actually, I believe, Matthew signs.
Yeah, Matthew's there.
Yes, we're on the call.
Right, were you guys, able to actually, redo the picture, to scale?
I'm
As we-
pulling it up right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you like me to stop, would you like to, pull it up so that we can all see it?
I don't have, I'm on a phone right now. We're pulling it up. We're looking to see here. Let me sit down here.
Yeah, this wall is 100 feet.
Is there a spec of the size of the wall versus the sign?
Well, they have, just, I'll just refresh the commission's memory. They had misstated the actual width of the wall. So they thought it was the 83 feet, but it's actually not 83 feet. So.
The whole overall length of that entire building is 83.
Yeah, the length of the entire wall on that side of the street is 83 feet.
Right, and I think that either you guys or the applicant had said that this part was 14 feet, but then said, oh, no, wait, it's not 14 feet. So I guess.
It's 16.
It's 16 feet, yes,
16.
that section of the wall.
So
Yeah.
what we were looking for from you or the applicant is the more correct scale photo.
It is the size.
I'm doing it. I'm scaling it up right now to see.
Is it 5 foot wide sign now?
Yes, it's the new sign is 69.7 3/4 inches. So about 5 foot, 5'9" 3/4. Down from, I believe it was 7 foot in the original application.
This is our third go. The first iteration after the initial meeting is the applicant agreed to reduce the size of the sign, I believe, by 2 inches.
Let's see here.
Oh,
Can we
okay.
tease out the points here that we're talking about? There's scale as one piece, there's illumination as another,
Materiality.
materiality is the third. Do we need to just talk about them independently?
In any way you want to slice it, I think at the end of the day, it comes down to the essence of the code in terms of appropriateness. And the scale issues are
60
important,
by 65. What would we propose?
but they are, the scale issue is important, but I don't think
69 by 69.
the assumption that scale is defined by the size of the building per se.
That sign.
It's the scale.
It is the scale.
It's the scale.
Gigantic building, you now have a gigantic sign.
Right.
The code says, is it appropriate to the building, the existing architecture, neighborhood?
But
But
do
I
we
remember-
want to talk about, do we want to talk about, not
Probably, yeah.
Like, do we want to look at those things like, I don't have a problem with this, we do have a problem with this, so we can be a little more pointed.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Tina,
For me, it's always been the illumination. We had this discussion before, even that last one we approved for Flower Crown. It was like, I saw the sign going up when I came up. And we have another illuminated sign coming in. So there's that piece of it in red base. And because it's a residential, it feels less appropriate to me than it would on Warren Street. And we do have to have that larger conversation about Warren. So for me, the illumination is probably the largest piece. The scale of it, if it is as large as we described, it's as tall, like tall. I'm 6 feet, so it's like close to me in terms of size. On the side of a residence, feels outsized to me.
But here's the issue with that. So we're measuring from tip to tip. Okay, so that tip of that point to the tip of the point is 69 inches. Now you have all that dead space around the sign. So the actual sign itself, the circle part, is, I'm gonna let you know right now in 2 seconds how big that circle part is. It's probably closer to like 4.5 feet. So in the scheme of things, not that big.
That's helpful.
Did you, Matthew Signs, did you want to show us the photo that you have, the scale, to scale?
Yeah, I can't share my computer because I'm not on the Teams with that.
You email it to us?
I can. So the size of the circle part of the sign is less than 4 feet. It's 44 inches.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very close to like a window size, you know, with the sash on it and stuff like that. So it's not that, it's really not that big.
did you look at constructing this a different way with other materials? For example, a wooden sign with an external light?
I mean, you're gonna have light shining down. That's way more of a light nuisance than a sign that glows from the inside at 3,000 Kelvin. I mean, it's just, you're gonna have, you know, a ton of gooseneck lights on the side of the building, and it's just gonna be gaudy, I think, you know?
Ain't necessarily so. There are a lot of external lights that are not gaudy in town.
I know, but the concern was the light pollution, and if that's that's gonna give way more light pollution than lighting it from internally with a soft white light.
We got hung up.
I mean, that was the main concern of everybody, is the light pollution. That's the light, you know? I mean, if you put 3 goosenecks above the sign, that's gonna give a lot of light.
So don't do that. If that's a problem, the illumination was one issue. The central issue we're trying to talk about now is the appropriateness of, scale, and, the internal illumination and possibly the material as it relates to a historic building in the historic district. So let's stay on appropriateness. I get the light issue, but that's technical and is fixable by changing bulbs.
I'm just against signage, whether it's whatever size or whether it's eliminated. A sign being adhered to the side of a historic residential building in a historic district. Whether it's big, small, whether it's eliminated, again, I have to say, Denny did a great job on the property, and I can really appreciate the attention and everything you've been given to the signage and graphics, it's all beautiful. But again, just from where I sit, it just shouldn't be adhered to.
Well, that was your property at one point.
Yeah.
Had to be signed for your business.
Sign name of the porch.
Was there a problem with traffic or interest in the property?
No.
Matthew Signs, did you want to share the screen of the photo?
I don't have, it's the
like
picture you have is the scale. I just blew it up and checked the size.
Oh, so that is accurate?
Yes, it's accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wall is 16 feet from the bump out by the window. There's a couple of pipes that come down the side of the wall. Past the weatherhead for the electric and from the edge of the building. So I just scaled it up on our computer here. I have 190, actually, let's see. Yeah, 192 inches.
Needs to be a skip a stanchion or some kind of bracket would be a good alternative to suggest.
We could suggest a lot of stuff. My concern is that, there's a bit of a trap, in doing that. I would prefer to go with historic appropriateness, the building in the neighborhood, and let the applicant try to solve that. This is our fourth go.
I mean, I don't see enough change to change my vote from the previous submissions. I do appreciate that they reduced the scale, but Paul is right? So it's hard to, even the concept is difficult to support.
Well,
Much-
say again,
Well, just that, again, it doesn't matter on the sign graphics, whether it's illuminated or not. I just don't think it's appropriate to have a sign adhered to the side of a historic residential structure in the historic district.
If I may, I mean, is Warren Street not historic?
Not residential.
It's not residential, commercial.
I understand that, but they're all historic buildings, correct? I mean, you're saying that it's a historic building, but there's signs littered down Warren Street on every historic building that's there.
But it's a
Right, but it's commercial.
commercial district.
I understand what you're saying, but it's still a sign on the side of a building at the end of the day. Whether it's in a residential district, a historical district, a hamlet, a store, it doesn't matter. It's still a sign on the side of a building, and there's a million signs on the side of every building in Hudson.
That's why signs are okay on Warren Street. They're shops, they're signs advertising
historic-
I
businesses.
know, and according to the code previously, you could have a sign on every other street in Warren Street.
I think we should vote.
The code says.
I don't know when they changed the law, but they were allowed to have a sign.
You can take this off in terms of code issues with Craig. In terms of the commission, I think we should go ahead and vote.
Is this, just curious, is it approved as a bed and breakfast or as a hotel? Because those are different uses. Bed and breakfast.
I don't know what the literal, definition of that business is.
Curious.
Have a motion to find the application complete. John and Jeremy, all in favor? And we can vote yes or no on this. I'm not sure how to structure it, but, a motion to, basically approve the application,
It's better.
It's waive a public hearing
waive a public hearing,
and
and
direct
have
the
the city attorney courtesy of A. I think we want to vote, make that motion. Paul and Phil, all in favor?
Wait.
Well, no.
No,
We're gonna do a roll call vote on it.
okay, let's go.
Wait, I'm sorry. You're structuring this as an approval or as a denial?
We're structuring it as an approval and we're going to vote yes
Yes
or
or
no on the approval.
But we were approving that the application was complete.
We did. Okay,
We already-
so let's do a roll call, up or down. John, in favor, no?
I vote no.
Jeremy? No. Phil? No. Brent?
Miranda, no.
Paul? Kim? No. Applications, no.
No, it's not denied. You just did not approve it. So I would
Not
like to
approved.
vote now to deny the certificate of appropriateness.
Okay,
All right.
true then? And that's a yes or no vote.
John votes no.
Wait, you're approving
You're-
or not?
I'm sorry. We rarely do this, right?
Okay. We got.
Last time you voted that.
Right.
This time you didn't approve it, but I think we should just be clear that it's being denied.
Okay,
Say deny or just.
I say, I vote yes to the denial.
okay. Jeremy? Yes.
Yes, with the denial.
Yes to the.
Kim?
Okay, so when the application comes back, it'll be a new application, you're gonna give appropriateness and we'll start fresh.
Terrific.
Great.
Terrific. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
What else do we have on the agenda, Jan?
Is there anyone, we have skipped ahead, is there anyone here to speak for 203 Warren Street, the Hudson Kitchenware? Or is there anyone here to speak for 421 Warren Street? It's a sign.
No. Motion to adjourn?
I have a hand raised.
Okay.
Mr. Kopnicki, Mr. McGee?
Yes, this is Mr. Kopnicki. As I said at the last meeting, if the Hudson Navigator comes back with a new application, this calls for another public hearing. Thanks.
Thank you. And I guess that's it.
Okay. Motion to adjourn. Paul and Kim, all in favor? Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
Meeting adjourned at 10:39. Thank you all.
Hey, Ed, it's Steve Nettles. Well, there's still snakes in the grass, I'll tell you that, with Wells Fargo. Well, they, you can't pin them down, and then, I spoke to someone there, and she's gonna send out the documents, but she said it doesn't necessarily reflect the terms of the original offer, which was what I was not told from any other time. And then she tells me all this nonsense about, they'll send the documents, and then they send their own notary, and then I only have, he'll come up within 4 or 5 days, and then, if it's not returned in 30 days, the deal's no good. And I said, well, what if I'm traveling, and I am, and I'm doing projects. So, they were like, I don't know if I should ask him to send it to 3 addresses. Before I do anything, I'm going to have you read it over. I'm not doing anything. So, they're Federal Expressing it. And this was the other thing. They said the notary sends it back. And I said, well, then we don't have proof of return. They were like, and they said they have to use their notary. I said, well, that's ridiculous. Until we got into it with her, we were on the phone for a long time, me and Ellen. Then she said, well, you can use your own notary, but it should be sent. It should be sent to you. It should be sent to my New York City address, and it should be sent to Hudson in case I'm there. At least at those 3 places. I don't know how to handle that. If I should just have you have to look at everything first. Okay. And you want? Okay. All right. So which address should I? Can you just email? Or just tell me the address, or email it to me? Okay. Thanks a lot, Ed. Okay. Talk to you later. I hope you have a nice weekend. You, friend. Okay. Thank you.